Hi felters and welcome. In today's video we're going to map your needle felting journey, whether it be 6 months or 6 years. I think it's a really important thing that everybody should do. So I'm going to journal my felts today, and I'm going to take all the photos I can find off Etsy and off my camera, and I'm going to pop them in. So I ordered this little sort of journal book. It wasn't much off Amazon. I made sure it's quite a big one and it's quite thick, so I've got plenty of room to add lots more. I bought a load of stickers. Now, I'm not artistic with journaling. This is not going to be stunning, but I thought I'd make it a little bit prettier. So I got some stickers and I've got some more stickers in there. I've got some washi tape that I've had for a while with some mushrooms and owls and things like that. I've got a cup of tea. I've got a design that I wanted to put on the front. I just didn't want to put my items on the front, so I might try that one, I'm not sure. And then I've got this really cute little photo printer. It's by Lien, and there's probably cheaper ways of doing it. But I really like this little machine. I'll show you why in a minute, why it's so handy. But you buy the photo cards, keep that blue card in it, pop it in, and it will print out for you. So there's no ink, and the photos print out. You just have to keep that blue thing in to get the colour grading correct, which I didn't realise to begin with. But the reason I got these is because on the back of them, they are sticky, so I could stick it down. You could probably go to Vistaprint though and get a load of photos a lot cheaper, but it's a really cute little machine and I really like it. So I've just been sitting here watching YouTube and printing. This is the little printer that I showed you, and just printing all the photos out. I've got piles of things, so I thought I'd do it in sections. So horses is going to be first, and then I was just crocheting in between the printing because it takes a while to print out, but the pages are empty, so I'm about to start. So I've finished it, I've put it all together, and I just think it's such an important thing for us to do, is to look back and see how far we've developed our skills, because even if you've been doing this for 6 months, you don't realise you have improved. This is the picture I went with in the end. I just put some washi tape around it. I am not artistic, as you can see, but I have put this together, and this is going to be my memory. And I'll just show you a couple of things. So that was the second needle felt I did, and that's what really got me hooked, to the fact that I could do these horses' heads. That one sold on Etsy, one of the first things I sold, and I couldn't believe it. I think that was a keychain as well. And then I did this dapple horse fairly early on, chunky legs. I was trying to find all the wools and stuff, trying to sort of work out what was best for what. And then these are some of my early commissions. So that's commission, I think. So I haven't printed out every single picture, every single felt that I've done, but I printed out quite a lot, and the ones that I wanted to remember. I think that that was just one I did for myself. These are commissions. No, that's not. That's a unicorn. That's a commission. I kept remembering I would get quite a few difficult commissions with all this range of colours. I found that quite tricky. That one's got sort of a dappley bottom. This guy, I loved him. I really feel I did quite a good job on that one. And then they wanted another one with him covered in mud. And I said, because he used to roll in mud and that's how they loved it. And I said, that's going to be quite tricky to do. How about I just do a head of him? So I did the big head, and that's how I sort of started the idea to develop the course. That was a commission, again, another sort of dapple with all these spots, and they're so hard to do. Took ages. That was a lovely bay. This is my pony I had as a youngster, and that was a pony I used to ride where I used to work all the time. That's Beth, and that's Excalibur. And then just a few of my sort of favourites. Again, this was a little Shetland pony. I did loads of spots and dots. That's the Exmoor I did. And then these are the two horse heads, well, the unicorn. And then that one I did on the Natalie Brooks course. I think that's her name. Roly Poly Ponies. And I really enjoyed that course. So that's the horses, and then the sheep. I had so many sheep ones to print out. So these were the first few sheep I did and popped on Etsy. Let me just show you. It's a little bit shocking. Look at that. But people purchased them. These, you know, they weren't too bad. They were quite straightforward. I remember gluing the horns and wrapping them around a pencil to try and get that shape. And then we started to develop. So this was actually a Ryland. My friend had Ryland sheep, and she gave me some of the wool. So I think I did that for her. Developing the valets. Valet sheep are so popular if you can make valet sheep. This was one I did that was bigger than the size of Bella. It was so expensive because I had to buy washed valet wool. I didn't have any fleeces then, and it went to America, and she's put it in this glass case. She absolutely loves it. They were so happy with it, but that was one of my first biggest pieces. That's developing the valet properly, so how I do them now there. And then just various sheep, having fun. That is awful, but someone purchased him. They liked him. That was just yarn wool. Those are my tags that I put on. I've just ordered some more, actually. I couldn't find the same ones. And then I did quite a few. I did colourful sheep with different yarn wool. And then this is my yarn ball. That's exclusive to Patreon, that one. And that's a valet I did recently, actually, for the person that gave me some of their locks. And then these are obviously some of my more favourite sheep. So that's when I did that lineup of sheep, which I've sold a couple of them now, and I really want to do some more. And that's Vincent. This is a little... Oh, this sheep was from the Isle of Skye or somewhere. I can't remember where. That Herdwick was the prototype, the starting design for my Herdwick course. So that's the sheep. And I've left pages... And then we've got cows. That was one of the first Highland cows I did, all in carded wool. I'm getting the idea, I'm starting, and then I really moved on to my sitting down sheep because I've got, there's a bull in the field near us, big black bull, and he sits down, and I thought that was a really funny pose. So, and then, you know, this is me starting the design, and that's my little Highland cows, which you can find all over Etsy now. Yeah, so that's where I sort of roll the wool up. That's really quite painful to do, that style. I wouldn't recommend it, but you twist the wool back on itself. And then I did, can you see, some colourful ones. That's England colours. I did grey. That's a video on YouTube, that one. Highland cows in a teacup. That's a video on YouTube. Love that. And then starting to work towards my course. So that's the Highland cow that I do on the course, but I was sort of trying to get towards that style. And that was a longhorn I did a long time ago, and I liked that one. I was trying to do birthday cards. I was trying to work out what design I would put on a birthday card, but it didn't work for me. And then I've turned that one into the course. That was Zoe from Stab the Fluff. That's her Highland cow, and it's very different, and I like that a lot, that one. This is my lying down one. That's a time-lapse video on YouTube, and then the Highland cow heads, obviously. Oh yeah, so that one is the lying down cow in a different type. I did a cow on a motorbike, of course. That was for the advert. I think it was the Virgin advert at the time. And then Patreon videos again. Oh, these are all Patreon there. And then that's my workshop Highland cow that I did. So I think that's it for the cows, and I've left a couple of spaces there. Then I did one on hares. So I've got a few hares. That was my most favourite hare. I loved him, and he went to a really nice lady. I sold him at a craft fair, and I sold that one at a craft fair as well for quite a bit. So you can sell your bigger pieces at craft fairs sometimes. I can't remember. I sold him on Etsy, I think. He was lovely. I did pictures of him in the snow, and that was my more recent one that I did. Hares on spindles, just that sort of size, they sell really well. Oh, and that was just a hare head that I did, which was a bit, not abstract. Didn't sell for ages, that one, but I really liked it. A couple of my mushrooms. So these two are videos on YouTube, and so is that one. I love textural 2D, 3D. I think they're really lovely things to do, and people really like them in the frames. Online courses, so that's some of my online courses, not all of them. I've got a couple more, but these are my main ones. And then kits. So I've got 5 kits now. I know what I want to do for the next kit. And then this is just some miscellaneous. I just printed out a few, so that was the fox I did. That was the Christmas dinner. I did that. That's a video. That's a video, the lady under the tree. That was an entry to a craft competition. That's I think it's at Danny Ives' course on, oh, I can't remember, Domestica. That's it. Chickens as I was designing them, and then just a couple of other pieces. And I've got I had that, so I just popped that there. That's the otter I did. He sold that. It was a lovely big piece. That was a birdie and blossom one. And then a puffin I did a long time ago. And I thought I would just do my stools. So this is when I first started, sort of early days, and I literally had, so you just need a tablecloth. Bunting does look good. It's quite nice, actually. And I just had the stackable wooden boxes, and then a couple of bigger boxes with designs on them, and that's just all. And I had my tree, so that's all you need is a bit of height. I literally only had about 30 items in that picture, so you don't have to go with lots of pieces, but obviously I had some bigger pieces. I think that was a commission and it was waiting to go, but I took it and put it on display. That was that horse. And then here we moved up to getting the shelves. They were really good. I've got a kit there, so I can see I'm starting to develop. And that's very similar, but that's without the tool shelves. Then we go on to 2 kits and a little bit more greenery. I know it's hard for you to see. And then that's got the 2 kits as well. But then we go on to testing out some of the green colours, and I've got my board there to put pictures on. I've painted that green now, and then this is at Yarndale. I'll put a picture of that over the top, so there's a huge difference. I've changed the colour and everything. And then this was just in my office. I have my little sign felts by Philippa. I had that made a long time ago. Only cost about £35, and I absolutely love it. And that's now. So for me, I feel it's so important to see the journey I've come on, because looking on Instagram, scrolling through, I feel I'm not doing enough. I haven't improved enough. But when you look back, and I've gone from that to a much nicer Highland cow. Even these ones, that one was a lovely one. I gave that a name like Chloe or something. I like that one. And the sheep, you know, for me, big difference. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm super pleased that I've actually managed to finally do this and journal all of my felts, and then I don't have to worry if I lose any of my photos on my phone. It did take me a while to do it all, and as I said, there's probably a cheaper way of doing it by just ordering some prints on Vistaprint and sticking them down, but my children are going to love that little printing machine. So I always say, practice, practice, practice. You are not going to improve unless you actually make that thing. I used to be, as I've said before, quite scared of hares and foxes. Guess what? Unless I actually make them, I'm not going to improve. So make that sheep, do one, make another, make another. You will learn little things along the way as you go along, and you won't realise it till you look back and think, that was the first sheep I made, this is the next sheep. 10 sheep down the line, you will have improved. So don't forget, practice, 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 and make that thing. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.